Hi YouTubers, this is another video from your friendly neighborhood reviewer Evelyn. Today we're going to be reviewing the latest episode of the Quantum Leap series. You may ask, how come I don't do the regular updates to this if people that do care? The reason being is they had this series in a bit of these winter breaks, and we had other series that I was more interested in. The trouble is, Raymond Lee, sorry to say, he's not the strongest actor to mirror the role that Scott Bakula did in the original series. And I feel like the point of emphasis has changed to Ian. I like Mason Alexander's acting, so if they're going to be the point of reference, they should make that clear, because we found out in the other episodes that Ian was the one that told that went and leaped in the past to Ben's time to say that Allison was going to die. So we have that, and then we have the other leap of Martinez from the future leaping around. So I saw the recap. There's a good thing that they do the recap in this case, that Ben was in, I think, in a mental asylum, and he ended up having to trust these Leaper X Martinez, but we saw that Martinez went and stabbed Ben in the neck. And then with this episode, Ben gets put forward into the body of an air hostess in 1971, and we find out he's meant to stop the plane from disappearing or for the passengers to die, because he's the air hostess, and on the top of that, as a female air hostess, so we have another gender bending role. The other bit that, which I saw in the recap, that Janice Calivici went and told Magic that Siggy was the mole. So of course Siggy is meant to be an AI, so I guess Terminator vibes going on. We don't know for sure. We're getting closer to the end of the season, unless they go and give us some worthwhile homage to the original series, and for all of this to make sense, this could be my last episode of Quantum Leap of review. Sorry to say this. I try to be fair with everything that I see, but if something is not really pulling me in terms of the interest and the level of complexity of the plot, it doesn't even be that complex. So basically in this episode, we found out that the airline is going to be held ransom, because it's been throughout this series, throughout the episode, he's worried about trusting another person, because what happened in the previous episode. Somebody in the comments, let me know what happened in the previous episode and what was the meaningful aspects from the previous one. And we have as well that Addison is trying to help Ben to maybe trust again that he can't do this by himself. So we end up finding out that the son of the airline, who owns the airline that they're riding in, female bodyguard that he had that was ex-police, was doing the hijacking with her boyfriend who's the co-pilot. The female police officer went and poisoned the pilot and everybody else in there apart from the co-pilot. And there's that whole hijacking series going about. And also as well that in the episode, since Siggy is the mole, Magic takes the executive decision to tell Ian to shut down Siggy, in which Ian is saying, I can't do this. I was there when Siggy was re-put back together. Also in the original series, we had the technician Gucci. We assume that Ian is meant to be similar to that role, because the biggest thing about this reboot, authenticity of the acting. We can see the more veteran actors like Ernie Hudson giving his way of expressing the role, and Mason Alexander Park. We can see that effort that they put forward in their acting, and we see that. But with Raymond Lee, he's not a Scott Bakula, I'm sorry. To me, it doesn't care about what the person looks like, it's their actual emoting ability to express what they're feeling. Just to cut the long story short, they managed to incapacitate the kidnapper as Ben manages to sedate the co-pilot with drugs and stuff, and manages to subdue the other hijackers. And we get that Ian is able to put forward as a hologram to able to speak to Ben, and Ian has that kind of important role of helping Ben to land the plane, and they end up successfully doing that. And the son of the airliner, they say in the future, becomes a teacher helping people to fly planes. So we see that kind of success story. So while as Ben is leaping forward to the next point on time, but there could be potentially, we have the end of the episode, he does manages to leap forward to the future. where he sees everything as ashes, and he looks like he's wearing the shriveled clothing. So we kind of see the future is a post-apocalyptic future where everything's in ruins, and Ben manages to see the future Ian. I'm sorry, but the future Ian looks like a granny. I'm just sorry to say this. It could have a bit more emphasis. When I think of the end of the world, I think Mad Max, the end of the world. You believe that? When I see this end of the world, it kind of looks like a parody of what the end of the world could look like. And Ian says at the end of the episode that he's waiting for Ben, and he's finally there. So we get the cut scene at the end. To anybody that sees this video, let me know what you think about this series. And the end of this season, I know they got a green light for a season 2. And I know sometimes series get better on the second one when they change maybe the focus of the direction, and they really need to bring back to the original series because this is a revival. Keyword revival. So the original show creators, they need to really put back that emphasis and maybe look at the genesis of Quantum Leap. If they can do that and make an understanding of what the whole mission was about, it could be a better plot line that's going. So I explained in version what the whole episode was about when Ben managed to avert the plane from, like, all the passengers on the plane from dying. And we have that moral sense of Ben trying to regain his trust in people. So this is the end of the video. I'm not the most excited to explain the video. I am curious to see if they explain what the big mystery is about, and hopefully the mystery is much more interesting and we won't get let down, because as soon as they reveal what the mystery is about, it's the biggest letdown sometimes, which happens majority of the time when you see series like this. So this is the end. This is not the I wish I could have put a bit more energy to this, but I will see the last episode of the season, and I pray to God that a lot of answers get revealed, or if they still have more questions, that'll be much more interesting questions and better hints of what could be season 2. So as I leave you always, stay safe.